Hello everybody, and a very big welcome back to the most rarest and forgotten kids shows again. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not feeling, oh hello Cookie, I'm not feeling my excited self. My anxiety again has been a little bit of a nightmare recently, but we're coming up to Christmas soon, which is very, very exciting, and I hope that you guys enjoyed my little vlog when I rode on the Polar Express. It was an incredible experience. I will treasure that forever. It is absolutely fantastic and I do highly recommend it. It is absolutely brilliant. So I've been debating about which one to talk about, but for the past few weeks I've been meaning to do this one, and I thought, you know what, this will be my final episode of the most rarest and forgotten kids shows because for Christmas I'm going to be doing something very exciting. I'm going to put on a very big project for my Christmas video, and it's going to be a Christmas pantomime. So fingers crossed it will be good, but I'm going to see how this goes and we will get it started. So without any further ado, let's see what we're talking about today.
You know who the Hoobs are. To go. Now the wheels are turning, we can all get learning all the things we want to know. Hey! Holla-hollas in Hoobland and roamers somewhere far away. The motorettes are singing, we keep the engine spinning. Hoop hoop hooray! The Hoop-mobile is coming your way.
It's the Hoobs. Oh my god, I loved watching this when I was growing up. Every single weekday it would be on very early in the morning. There'd be like about 2 episodes every single weekday, especially on like a school day, never on the weekend, I don't think. So I've got quite a few memories that I would love to share when I was watching the Hoobs. It really does bring back so many memories, and I love the characters, and it's just sad how, like, when I got older it no longer was on the TV anymore. So I thought, you know what, this needs to be spoken up about. So the Hoobs are about these 5 characters and they call themselves the Hoobs. And so you've got Hubba Hubba, who I don't know what he does, but he just talks to the Hoobs, but he's never like in the Hoobmobile. He's always like somewhere else. You've got Roma, who's I would say she's like a journalist. Like I said, like, oh, who would do Hoobs? Guess where I am? I'm here. And then she explains about what we can do. And you've got the 3 main characters. You've got Ivor, Tula and Groove. So Tula, the very brainy, the very creative and the only girly girl in the Hoobmobile. You've got Ivor, who is very energetic, very stroppy and very worrying and very well organised, and of course the most laziest and greediest, Groove. So of course they arrive into the human world where they like to learn about how we human beings do things in life and what we do to make things good again. So whenever at the start of the show, one of the Hoobs comes out with a very weird question, but a very good question to help them with their Hoob news, which is a bit unusual really, but yeah. Do you know what, this may sound really sad of me to say, but I hardly remember what this show was all about, but you know, it was an awfully long time ago since I watched this, so I'm just gonna come up and tell you my favourite episodes. Let's start off with one of my very favourite episodes, and I cannot believe I have spent years and years without watching a full episode of this show. Honestly, I am so mind blown to little bits. But this episode is called Getting to Sleep. So Ivor is obviously having a bit of trouble trying to get to sleep. Groove and Tula are completely perfect. They sleep very good. But of course, Ivor just can't sleep. It's so annoying. And then Groove comes up with a very good question, and that is, how can we get Ivor to go to sleep?
Yikes! It's Hubba Hubba!
What can we do to make Ivor go to sleep? That's a fan-tabby Hoobie question for today's Hoob News.
Oh, thanks Hubba Hubba, but really I think you should thank Groove for that. So Hubba Hubba decides to show the Hoobs some different pictures on the Hoobie cam, I think he calls it. And of course you see all like these different people, they're running, they're exercising, and of course, yeah, it does actually make you a little bit tired at some point. So let's just have a little look at those people running.
Oh, what a big jump! Oh, they're all running, that'll make you tired. And they're jumping and waving their...
Wow, I'm getting tired just by looking at it. Sad, isn't it? But Ivor does give it a try, so let's see if this works. Wow, you go Ivor, that will get you to sleep in no time. I wonder if it worked.
So, Ivor, are you exhausted? Worn out, drained, spent, fatigued, sapped? Ready to go to sleep?
Well, no, Hubba Hubba.
I guess that didn't work either. So Hubba Hubba shows them a story about a little kangaroo who like rocks to sleep, and which actually works in the story. So Ivor and Tula decide to give it a try and see if that works. Do you think it will work? Let's have a look at it.
Hey, Ivor, is it working? Are you sleepy yet?
Oh, I'm feeling seasick. Could you stop it, please? Stop it, please!
Yeah, do you know what? I think maybe you should stop as well, because that's making me feel sick just by looking at it. And then Hubba Hubba has another brilliant idea of all that is very, very helpful. He says, why don't you go see the Tiddly Peeps? In other words, see real human people, in other words, kids, and they know exactly what to talk about or like how they can solve your problem out. So they go over and visit these lovely two girls who are having a sleepover. And of course, Ivor asks them how they get to sleep. And you know what? I might give this a bit of a try. So, how do we get to sleep?
Oh, that's easy. First we go to bed.
Oh, okay. So first we go to bed. I better put my pyjamas on as well. Thank God I brushed my teeth, so won't be long. Okay, I'm in my pyjamas. So now it's time for me to go to bed. Okay, getting into bed, making sure I am so comfy. That is a good idea. Oh, this is actually quite nice. So, what happens now?
We really can't sleep. Our mums and dad sings the lullaby.
Oh, perfect lullaby. Well, this I got it here. Let's see if it works on me.
Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bell breaks, the cradle will fall. And down will come baby and cradle and all.
Hey, that song didn't make me sleepy. That made me want to cry right now. So, if that didn't work on me, then maybe it'll work on Ivor. Do you think it will work? Let's find out.
Sing a soft and gentle tune.
Hush, little Hoop, don't you sigh.
You'll be sleeping very soon.
Hush, little Hoop, and listen to our lullaby. Oh, la 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 lullaby. Close your little hoopy eye. We'll rock you in your hoopy pod, rock you to the land of Nod. Oh, la 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 lullaby. Hush, little Hoop, and close close your ruby eye. I'll sing a quiet and gentle song. Hush, little Hoob, don't you sigh, for you won't be awake for long. Hush, little Hoob, and listen to our lullaby. Oh, la 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 lullaby. Close your little Hooby eye. We'll rock you in your Hooby pod. We'll rock you to the land of Nod.
I am so sorry, that has never happened to me before. So, if that actually worked on me, then surely that could have worked on Ivor, right?
Aha! What did I tell you? Groove makes funny grunting noises when he's asleep. No wonder I couldn't sleep.
Ugh, I'm beginning to give up. What else can they do to make him go to sleep?
Oh no, here's Roma.
Oh yes, Roma! I love Roma. I wonder where she is and what she's going to tell us all about.
Today from a Tiddly Peeps bedroom, and I believe I found exactly what we need to help Ivor go to sleep.
What is it?
It's this.
What? A book?
But this isn't just any book. This book is filled with Hoobacious stories that send Tiddly Peeps to sleep. They're called bedtime stories.
Oh yes, what a perfect idea to go to sleep. Reading a bedtime story. Perfect tip for kids, of course. And as you all know, I would love to ask, what is the story about?
It's called Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty, I love that story. Oh, well maybe what we should do, we should sit down and listen to Roma. I wonder what the story how she will say it.
Once upon a time, a king and queen had a beautiful baby girl. They had been longing for a baby, and they were very, very happy.
I knew this was too good to be true. Everyone falling asleep over it, apart from Ivor, of course, and including Hubba Hubba. But I will actually tell you the story of Sleeping Beauty, and I can promise you, you will not fall asleep. The king and queen were so happy that they finally had a beautiful baby girl. All the family and friends arrived to welcome their new baby girl and named her Aurora. Suddenly, an evil witch, so angry she wasn't invited, she arrived with a thunderbolt and lightning strike and vows for revenge. 16 years later, the evil witch returns and casts an evil curse on Aurora, where she falls into a deep and endless sleep by pricking her finger on a spindle. And 100 years later, a handsome prince riding by, using his sword, chopped all the thorns down and kissed her awake. And they were so happy to be reunited that they lived happily ever after. The end. But of course, it didn't work again. So on that note, it is time for another visit to the Tiddly Peeps again. Hooray! And the final answer of how to get to sleep is a very good idea, actually. And that is to try cuddling something. Now, you may find this hard to believe, but sometimes cuddling a soft toy or maybe a teddy bear, it actually helps me. Well, sometimes anyway, but yeah, so did the cuddly bear work on Ivor?
So, as you can see, the answer to the question, what can we do to make Ivor go to sleep, is give him a teddy to cuddle.
Hooray! It did! Sorry, Stitch. I was just too excited. But yeah, you know what? Hugging a teddy bear is definitely the perfect answer. Another one of my favourite episodes of the Hoobs has got to be the one where it's all about stripes. Obviously, the title of the episode. So on this episode, Ivor and Tula wake up early and discover that the group is not even asleep, which is very unusual because Groove loves sleeping, he loves eating, he is so greedy and so lazy, so that came as a bit of a surprise, especially to me. So they wander around the Hoobmobile wondering where he is, and even ask the motorettes. Nope, they don't know either. Until...
Hoobledoop either. Hoobledoop Tula.
Oh my god, Groove, what on earth are you wearing?
Oh, this? I found it in my collection of things with stripes, and I thought it'd be good to wear whilst I'm working with HooboFix.
Oh, what on earth are you doing?
Oh, this?
Wow, I would surely love to know what it is.
It's one of those, you know, excuse me.
Yes, do excuse yourself, Groove. Do you know, it is very rude to yawn with your mouth wide open. Honestly. So, Groove is way too tired to even finish it off. So that leaves Ivor and Tula to finish it off. The only problem is, they don't know what it is. So, let's just have a little look at it. So, it's got a head, it's got a body, and it's got 4 legs. So, it's obviously an animal. It could be a cat, could be a dog, could be a horse, or something else that has 4 legs. So they try using bows, they try using sparkly things, they try and use something else I don't really remember. It's been an awfully long time since I watched that episode, so yeah, I have a lot of catching up to do, so yeah. So Groove doesn't like them. The amount of times that he wakes up yawning so loudly. I mean, let's have a little look at that.
Yeah, why did you try to turn it into a fish, Tula? It's got 4 legs, 2 ears and a tail. It's not a fish.
Oh, sorry, Groove.
That's all right. What's that?
A poodle?
It looks terrible.
Groove.
Yeah.
Wake up,
What
please.
is it?
Please, do you want Ivor to paint your model black all over?
What, all over? No.
Didn't anybody ever teach him to cover his mouth up while he yawns? That is bad, but I like it. So with all the other attempts, and neither of them have ever worked, it was time for Hubba Hubba to step in and show them all a story, and that was all about a little zebra. So that must have been the animal that Groove was looking for. And you know what? It makes a lot more sense now because of the t-shirt he was wearing. So, was it the case?
Hoobie galooby.
Do you like it, Groove?
Do I like it? Oh, look at it. I love it.
Hooray! It worked, and Groove was so happy he couldn't thank them enough. Now that makes a lot more sense as well, why the episode was called Stripes. Because Zebra has stripes, Groove was wearing a t-shirt with black and white stripes. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Another one of my favourite episodes has got to be the one where it's all about, obviously the title is called Giant. Now, the Hoobs, I think what they're doing is they're either like going to a fancy dress party or they're doing a show of Jack and the Beanstalk. And of course, Ivor is the giant. But he doesn't feel like he's tall enough to be the giant. So it's up to the Hoobs and of course Hubba Hubba to figure out what they can do to make him taller. So with a little help from the Tiddly Peeps, a little boy uses his dad as a piggyback. Let's have a little look at it.
Hoobledoop, Ivor.
Hoobie galooby. It's Kai. But I don't understand. The last time I saw you, you were nearer my size.
It's a trick. Look.
Huh? Hoobie galooby.
Oh, how hoobie groovy is that?
Amazing. See, Ivor? It's only my dad.
When I first watched that, I found it so awkward how they actually used a grown-up in this episode. It really still blows my mind. And I have to say, the minute they do this Hoobledoop do or whatever, I mean, the way that he does it, it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, let's have a little look at it. Jeez, if my mother ever did that with me, I would be so humiliated. It was, oh God, it's terrible. So Ivor decides to come onto Groove's back, mostly on his shoulders. And of course he acts as the giant, but does it work without him falling? Let's have a little look at it.
Proper giant at last. Fee, fi, fo. Groove, you're wobbling.
Well, I can't help it. You're too heavy.
I'm a giant, I'm meant to be heavy. Fee, fi, fo.
Ivor, watch out!
Groove, groove.
I hope he's all right. Is he all right?
Sorry.
Groove,
Yes?
did you do that on purpose?
Oh, okay, yeah, he's fine. He's just a little bit grumpy, but he'll get over it. So, as that obviously didn't even work, Roma, the reporter, comes along and she shows us a real giant. Let's have a little look at it.
Guess what? I found one.
Hello, Hoobs.
Wow. But I have to say, he's not a giant. He's just a human being with a very clever circus talent. And he uses a very cool way of doing it. So, sir, what do you use to make yourself taller? But then again, I think Roma should ask that question.
So, Mr. Big Peep, how do you manage to make yourself look so big?
I'm wearing stilts, Roma.
Ah, the tricky stilts that they use in the circus. They're very clever, but I have to say they are very hard to balance on and it takes a lot of practice. What I love about this man's accent is that, I don't know why, but his accent is so funny, and especially the bit where it goes like, okay, Roma, I don't know why. But I remember me and my sister, when we watched that episode, we was in hysterics. I don't know why. And it's funny because like when we saw it again, I think it must have been a few months, or maybe like a year or like 2 years later, when we saw it again, my sister was in hysterics with that. It was like, okay, Roma. So let's just have a little listen to that.
Would you mind if I took a bit of a closer look at your stilts? Just so that all those Hoobs out there will know what I'm talking about.
Okay, Roma.
Thanks.
Do you know what? I don't find it funny at all anymore, which is a bit awkward. But I have to say, when I showed her that, she was like really amazed. And she was like, oh my God, I remember this. So yeah, that is pure nostalgia right there. So the Hoobs order some big stilts. And of course, Ivor puts them on, which I'm pretty sure it's not going to end well. Even the first time when I was a little girl seeing that, I was very unsure it would work out. So let's have a little look at it.
Stomp about a bit.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Herbaceous.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I'm a giant. I'm a giant. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Listen to me roar. I'm a giant. I'm a giant.
He's all right. He'll get over it. So with the final trip from the Tiddly Peeps, they come up with a very clever idea that will make Ivor a giant, and it's better because it's not something that's very dangerous, not something that will cause a terrible accident. He uses a shadow.
Hoobie galooby, look at me. Chula, Groove, look at me. I'm a giant. I'm a giant at last.
Hooray! Clever Tiddly Peeps. And I have to say, I feel so sad how I never came up with these ideas. Do you know what? It made me feel that I was not so smart as like the others. And one thing I'm going to tell you guys about is that when me and my sister were kids, whenever we would watch this show, we always used to get so scared thinking that one of the characters from the Hoobs would pop up into my bedroom out of nowhere, and then they'll say like, who will Duke Tiddly Peep? And I'll be like, oh God. So, or maybe I would scream and run away. But I hope to God I'm not the only one that felt like this. I mean, weren't you scared thinking that they would pop up in your face and then you'd scream and run away? But no, I mean, as I'm older, it's like, you now understand just how television works. And it's so weird. It's like, but then again, when you have to have like kids on the TV, of course you have to get the parents' permission to allow that to happen. So, and I'm pretty sure my mum would not allow me to be on TV as a child, but hey. We are nearly coming to the end of this video. And I have to say, we have got to talk about the very final episode, which is called Is This Hooble Toodle Do? Now, with everything that they have learned throughout the entire episode, knowing about what we humans do, and to put all of Hubba Hubba's ideas and words into his Hoobapedia, in other words, Wikipedia. So yeah, it is now time for them to return to their very own home, and they're very sad, they're very upset, and they wonder, what are they going to do? Like,
you don't have to come back right away. You can stay or you can go. Whichever makes you happiest. Oh dear.
oh, so they can stay if they want to. They can stay in our world forever, and they don't have to come back into the Hoobland to see Hubba Hubba, because they see him every day. And of course they do want to see him, but they've got a big choice to make. Should they stay or should they go? And I have to say, the ending, I do not like that. Everyone was fuming. So let's have a little look at it.
Hooble Toodle Do!
We can stay! Or we can go!
So what's it to be?
Oh, shall we stay?
Or shall we go?
Well, are they going to stay? Are they going to go? I guess we will never know. But in my opinion, I think what they did, they went back to Hoobland. They spent Christmas with Hubba Hubba, and for the rest of the year they came back, and they went back and forth. And then when the show got cut off, they all went back to Hoobland. So, laters. So that is the end of the Hoobs. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am so sorry that I wasn't very specific, but you know, it's hard, but you know, because I mean, I have been wanting to do this one for the past couple of weeks, but of course it's been a little bit mental lately. So, and of course with Christmas coming up, my video project coming up next, so yeah, fingers crossed it will be a lot better than last year. So yeah, this might be the final episode of the most Rarest and Forgotten kids shows of 2022. So geez, I haven't really done a lot of them this year, have I? So, but hopefully come by next year, if I'm not too busy, if I'm not, you know, then hope for the best. We will do this, okay? So I will see you guys very soon, and I'm going to end this video saying goodbye to the Hoobs way. So, Hooble Toodle Do! This is so embarrassing. Bye.